Nintendo has been putting up bullshit lawsuits for, well, forever now. But this is the worst one by far. Well, one of the worst ones. I'm hip to Alex Jones lore. Never really looked into him. I just see him come up every now and again. Oh,
Nintendo
bro, I know you record these live, but like,
may be taking on the world, and that may include the U.S. government as its lawfare
okay, this might be the
campaign
one person that can
expands
actually
and
take on
continues. Of course, I'm
Nintendo.
Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and it's the legal mindset we teach you to be your own judge. So let's get right into it today. So this is a topic that
Hmm.
many people have asked me to cover. And they've been asking me
Because it's
to
such a
cover this for a
stupid.
very long time
It's about the patent,
because
isn't it?
it's something very much ongoing and it affects not just Nintendo, not just
Nintendo
Pokemon and
versus the
Power World, but
world.
the entire gaming space. And this could affect a genre. This could affect the gaming space, the modding community, and even Nintendo itself.
Oh
This could be
yeah, they're
make or
suing for
break for
mods as
Nintendo,
well.
where they cement an image in the world, in the gaming community, as the villain, as the evil corporation, and really turn things downward for their very own business. But we're going to talk about this today
It
from
won't do much to Nintendo. Most people don't really care. Like they'll see that, they'll go, "Oh, I hate them," and then they'll just purchase from them anyway. Because the products, say what you want about Nintendo, I hate them as a company, but you have to admit their games, objectively speaking, are good. I don't like them personally, but they are like well-made games for the most part. Um,
both a
it's kind
legal
of like Nestle. Most people know Nestle is an absolute like horrid company, but they still buy their products because they sell like good products.
perspective and also from a business perspective, because as I am a corporate attorney, I've seen the inside of these corporations. I
Mm.
know what makes business sense and what doesn't. And indeed, this campaign of lawfare is absolutely suicidal for Nintendo. And of course, this is a fast facts video. So if you want to see the longer version, you want to get all the
I need
reactions,
to
all the
start watching the
comments,
longer
you
ones.
check
I
out the
haven't checked
live.
them in a
If you
while.
do like the fast facts, make sure you like the video and leave a comment below. So let's get into the PowerPoint, the PP here today. And of course, this is both a Japanese
You
and
didn't like Mario Bros. Or Mario Kart? I pretty much would only have a Nintendo for Mario games. The last Nintendo product I owned was a Wii, and I played the new Super Mario. I think it was new Super Mario Bros. Whatever it was called, it's the Wii one. Um, I played that. I played the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting game, the one with the 3D characters, not the 2D one. I would have had like the rabbits in it, that one. And I played Skylanders up until Trap Team on it, and then I switched to playing on a console or an Xbox. But the problem is that it was Superchargers then, which was like the worst one in the series, so I stopped playing them then.
US thing, because the lawsuits are going on in Japan, but there's US patents involved. And of
I
course,
think I
when the
still
US
have my
government
Wii
gets involved,
somewhere
well, that will be
in
a
this
lawsuit in
house.
America. So let's talk about
I
this.
know there's a
So, first
GameCube
of
in
all,
here
there's
as
an
well as my
update that
brother's.
Nintendo is now arguing as part of their ongoing lawsuit with Power World that mods don't count as proper games. So, what they're attempting to do is have Power World say, hey, you need to shut down every
Bought the Wii, and you know I hacked it to be able to play free games on it. I was like 6 or something, so I didn't know about that until years and years later. The
single
Wii hack is
mod
very
out
easy.
there
I
of Power
heard
World,
a lot of the older
especially if
consoles are
it would
pretty easy to do that on.
even seem a
Like I've seen a
little bit
ton of
like
PS3 ones as
Pokemon.
well.
We're gonna have you shut that down because Power World is, of course, being accused of being too similar to
You're old.
Pokemon, and therefore, hey, we're going to say you got to shut down everything. Now, mind you, their current lawsuit is over patents. It's actually not a copyright lawsuit, but they're attempting to expand
Yeah,
it
they're
further.
patenting the summoning
And you can
mechanic,
see that,
which
of
is
course,
like,
people are coming out with mods and
fuck.
spin off games right now. You see Pal Farm here, which is a Pal World spin off game, enjoying a farming life
Oh,
with
bro, you
mysterious
think that's
creatures
bad?
known as
Hold on.
pals. Team up with them and grow your farm at your own pace
I
in this
saw
brand
this
new
earlier. I
creature
thought it was a
collecting
fan
farming
game. It's
sim,
actually
fully
real.
playable in multiplayer. So this is them, hey, kind of spinning off of Pal World. Well, guess what? This is exactly
They have they have a romance game coming out. Also, sexual content is a tag. So, you know, that's interesting. I'm gonna say though, Pocket Pair, they know their market. I'll give them that. They know what they're doing.
exactly the type of thing Nintendo hates. And what Nintendo is missing
You're in your
out
late
here
30s.
is
You
that
don't
both
look or
Pal
feel old.
World and all these mods like Pal Farm
Late
are
30s on the
things that
internet is
actually
like
help
fossil.
Nintendo, help the company, and help everybody, but only because they're operating from this
You're about as
scarcity
old as popular
mindset, which
MMOs, to
drives
put it in
them into
perspective.
this
And he
insane
started YouTube
lawfare.
12,
Are they
13 years ago,
dragging themselves
doing RuneScape.
down here?
I
And we're
think
going
it
to see
was,
kind
is
of
what
some
he
of the legal
started with.
consequences here. So let's talk about the legal battles of Nintendo, and there's various ones that are ongoing here. First,
It's
and
so
this is the
funny.
biggest thing that
It's just
bothers me,
because,
is
like,
that this
of how the
battle
internet
over
works.
mods, really the decision whether or
You know,
not the
the
mod
new
rests with
gens
the
coming
game owner
in
and their end
every
user
year.
license
There's
agreement, the
more new
ULA.
gens
So
than our old gens,
if
so
Power
just
World wants to
by
decide to allow
comparison,
mods, that's
you're
Power
old.
World's decision. That should not be Nintendo's decision. So the big issue with this
30 isn't
precedent
even old,
is
like
if
65 is.
Nintendo wins this
Yeah,
precedent, then
but it's
any
like you're outnumbered by people like under the age of 21, more or less. Um, like if you're a content creator and you're 30, you're probably not that old. Like most content creators are in their late 20s, early 30s. Like Natasha Nyanners is 31 or 32. But the thing is most content creators don't say how old they are. Because it's just a really bad like play to make. Because if you say like, "Oh, I'm 35," you'll say, you immediately almost like a barrier comes up where like younger people will just for whatever reason Moist Critical is like 31. Yeah, Charlie is getting up there, but Charlie has looked the same. Like his face has looked the same for the past like 10 years. He hasn't changed. His hair length has. That's it. Um, but like most of them won't say how old they are because the new gens hate it when they're watching someone and it's like, oh, I'm 30. And like, oh, this person's old. I immediately disagree with everything they say. And then they just tap out.
game which looks at another game and says, hey, this looks sort of similar to me, or hey, I made some last minute patent, and we're going to talk about the sneaky patent
It's a
troll
good
level
tip.
BS that
That's why
Nintendo
VTuber
is
models
pulling.
are great. They never age.
Any company could come out, file a last minute patent, and stop mods.
You don't
This
really
would
think about it.
kill the modding community.
I
This
only
would allow
started to
big
really think about
corporations,
stuff
big
like that
corpos to nuke
a
mods
few months
across the
ago.
board. And this is an absolute travesty because mods are sometimes the most beloved parts of the game. In fact, many times big companies look at the mods and they find which mod is most successful and they make a game based on the mod, or they make official.
I can't think of any games off the top of my head that have done this bar Pal World. Make a spin-off based on a popular mod. I think Dota was a mod, wasn't it? Everyone thinks I'm early 20s from how I look. I've been told I look 21 since I turned like 15. I've been 21 for the past 3.5 years. 3.5, 4 years. So I just kind of ride with it. But mods that turn into games. I think Dota is the only one. Or that I can think of. Or at least Dota 1, Defense of the Agents. You've seen dudes like that.
Support for that mod,
I don't know
right?
how I'm
Look at
clean
Dota,
shaven.
right?
I think
Dota
I look
became
a lot
thing,
younger
right?
than I
And
actually
that's
am, but
once again goes all the way back
guess
to being
not.
a mod. But a lot of these gaming companies have forgotten their roots. They've
I
forgotten
am
where things
white
come from,
though, so that might be why.
and they're just trying to
You've
win
always
through
looked like a
little
baby.
legal persnickety
Baby face, yeah, I
tactics,
have that as
which
well.
just make them seem petty and ultimately push
But I
them
can't grow a
deeper
beard.
and deeper
Like it's
into the
patchy, so I
villain
have to
role.
keep it shaved.
And the biggest thing that happened here that
So
really
either
caught
look
my
like
eye
shit,
was
but
last
look like
month.
I'm about 25,
Nintendo
or
snuck
look
in
like
a
16.
new patent, a U.S. patent, about summoning a sub character to fight. So essentially, what this does is say anytime that there's
Oh, come on, Legal Mindset. You couldn't have
any
re-recorded this.
game
I love
where
you,
there's
Andrew,
a
but come on.
sub character, that meaning, the main character. Now, initial analysis by patent attorneys, and once again, that's not my area of specialty. I'm more of a generalist. Initial
Can't grow a
analysis
beard
said,
either.
yeah,
Just hair
well,
on the
it's
chin.
technically
Yeah, I get like the
legal,
pubes on my
but
face.
they
That's why
really
I don't
don't
grow
want a
one.
judge to look at it. If a judge looked at this,
I'll grow
they
hair
might say,
perfectly
hold
fine
on
everywhere
there,
else, but
especially in
just
the
not
United
my
States.
face.
Hold on there. What you're trying to do is control the entire pocket monster genre, or even pocket character, or sub character genre.
It also like infringes on almost every like RPG in existence. Like how many RPGs do you know where it's like, oh, do you want to summon like a bonus character or something for one turn? Almost all of them have, like, at least turn based, have that mechanic. And like how do you even, Because it was like summoning something to fight for you. So what about like Overlord? Well, Overlord you don't summon anything, but like games where you are a necromancer or like a beastmaster, the lawsuit is so dumb. Yeah, it's very clear that they just kind of like, okay, we're just patenting summoning and we're going to use it only to target you. It's like, it's kind of like, I hate patents like this. Like, what is it, the Nemesis system that's patented by, I think it's Warner Bros. The, what game was it again? Shadow of Earth, I think it was, where it's like, an enemy kills you and then the game ranks them up. Also riding mounts. It's very, like, vague. Even reading it and they're trying to be specific, it's still way too broad. But it's just like, I just think patent, like, I understand from a business perspective why you would do these patents and why you would allow it, but it's just a net negative
genre. You really can't do that.
for
You
like
can't do
everyone
that in
else.
America. You can't say, hey, no, we own the entire genre. You can't do anything in this entire genre. That's not allowed. Think about superheroes saying, hey, you can't make a superhero genre, or you can't make a monster genre, or
Well,
whatever else, right?
Disney
A
owns
horror
Marvel, and I feel like they're not too far away from trying to purchase DC, so they're not too far off.
genre, dinosaur genre, right? How far are
Okay,
we
well,
going to
the dinosaurs are a real thing. Oh, but I get what you mean. Yeah,
let these corporations
I
go
don't think
and
you
just
could trademark a
monopolize the genres?
Velociraptor,
It
but
doesn't
maybe
make
I don't
sense,
know.
and it stifles creativity. It's absolutely horrible for everybody. Nobody wins here, and the corporation
Nintendo wins is
just
literally
looks
it.
horrible. Now, what the reality is, and once again, I tell you guys a legal reality, whether the facts meet your feelings or not. And I hope that people who both are pro Nintendo and anti
You totally understand why they're going after Pal Worlds, since it really is a fan-made better Pokemon. It is, to be fair. It's understandable, but how about hire them to make a good Pokemon game and not sue them? Yeah, it really is just that easy, isn't it? Just like hire them or make a good game. No, sue them. Fuck it.
Nintendo can listen to this. But
Such a
Japanese courts
waste of
are
time.
likely to favor Nintendo. And now that's both based on the power and structure of Nintendo in Japan, their influence, etc. But the other thing that is really important to note, especially with the US patents, is if any of those patents in the US are challenged, US courts might not look so favorably on Nintendo. So under US law, they might be in some trouble. And that's where Nintendo is probably sweating right now. Because if someone with deep enough pockets came at them and really came at them hard and really pressed them, they might be in some big trouble. So I want to get into a situation with
I I
America.
I like this lawsuit specifically for one reason, and that's there might be a court, um, like justice that has to discuss the Pal World dating game in front of like an audience, and Pocket Bear has to come up and explain why this game is safe and why it shouldn't be taken down. That's the only like net positive out of this.
In fact, it got brought up today by ICE in the Department
Like
of Homeland.
imagine some fucking 60-year-old fossil that's like, so why are you doing this? You date the lizard and you get them to become your girlfriend. And it's also flagged for sexual content, so nah. Who knows? Like, oh, okay. But then again, what if Nintendo brings up, is it Vaporeon? I think there could be a real battle there, you know? So what is this hentai? Who is this 4chan?
Which dropped a very spicy video. And
What the fuck is
I'm
this?
wondering whether there's some base Chad in the social media department at DHS who's just sitting there. He's a gamer, and he's like, "Hey, you know what's trending right now? Nintendo
Pokemon.
being an asshole. So let's
Oh
just
my god, I just
troll
realized
them
what it is.
and let's absolutely poke Nintendo, because if anybody can go after Nintendo, it is the U.S. government. Once again, Nintendo has a lot
The
of money,
hacker noticed
but the U.S.
4chan.
government could just print money.
Oh,
They
it's
can
so
just print money.
fucking
And
stupid.
what makes it even worse is most Japanese debt, if you don't know this, they tend to have a lot of it denominated in US dollars. So as the US prints, that just hurts the Japanese side. So Nintendo attempting to borrow would probably just end up benefiting the US government, which just would fuel the lawsuit. So it's absolutely a glorious situation. It's kind of
Please, I think it's a
a
clip.
funny
Play
white
it.
pill. But
I want to
anyways, you
see
can
it.
see the DHS in this "Gotta Catch 'Em All" ICE
Yeah,
video, referencing the ICE roundups, used the kind of
everyone in
trademark
office is
lettering of
souls out of touch.
Pokemon.
It's
You can see them
insane.
here rounding up people. They use clips from Pokemon, Pokeballs, Ash Ketchum,
They just
etc.
have no
Right,
idea
to the
about
tune
like
of
anything.
"Gotta Catch 'Em
They're
All." So
like
this is something
just up to date with like Facebook, and even then, that's really pushing it.
that, hey, if Nintendo was going to come at them and Nintendo was going to say, hey, we're litigious, we have to sue everybody, we have to do everything. Well, Nintendo, well,
No, you don't understand. We have to sue every company on the planet. It's just we legally we have to, okay? We don't want to listen. We don't want to be the bad guys. We just have to sue you.
Nintendo, if you want to play that
No
game,
bad blood.
if you want to be a big boy and sue everybody, let's see you sue the United States. Please, dear dear YouTube overlords, dear Nintendo, please do that. You will print me so much money covering this case. Please do that. As a grifter lawyer here on YouTube, I would love that. I said as a term of endearment, right? Of course,
as
I'm
a
joking.
slop
That would be
content
horrible for
creator,
Nintendo.
that'd
That
be
would
great for me as
absolute
well.
disaster for them.
Please.
But what was also funny is they not just copied the theme, but they even went to Pokemon.
You're in your late
cards. So even the
30s, still at the
Pokemon
age where you
cards
grew
and
up to
all that
internet
related to
culture.
them,
Oh,
they
so you're one of the
kinda,
rare ones.
made those out. And whoever did this the Pokemon
I
card
just
element
realized,
in
what
this
am I
video was
looking
like
at?
3 seconds, but they put thought and detail into this, like type
I would
illegal,
type
HP1, right? They got their crime here, they got their history, and then the best thing that made me
The
really laugh
weakness
was
is
weakness to
ice.
ice. Weakness to ice. That's absolutely
I would read
hilarious.
this out
Of
loud,
course,
but I
they
don't
all
think I
died to a
can.
shed ninja. Isn't it sad when you all died to a shed ninja? But anyways, let's look at this in fair use. So let's say, hey, if Nintendo's going to come at the U.S. government, what would happen? What are the fair use factors? And this applies to a lot of other cases as well. You can use this just broadly.
I didn't
especially for
realize
copyright,
DHS now shit posting,
etc.
but
Well,
I'm all for
there's
it.
really 4 things. Purpose and character of the use. Is it commercial, non-commercial? Is it research, educational, governmental?
I would
The
call
nature,
Palworld
is it factual
educational,
or
yes.
creative? The amount and substantiality of the work used. So if we're talking about the Ethan Klein lawsuits, right? If you just watch all of his content,
He mentioned him.
that's all of it. That's
He mentioned my
one of
boy.
Ethan's stronger arguments in his lawsuits against Casey Tron Denims and the
You can do whatever you
Orbiters,
want. Do I think if someone
and
reported you? But
Discord
no,
and Reddit.
seriously, no one would want to report
But
you.
they just use some clips, right?
No, there are auto flags that sometimes go off. I have had an auto flag go off once, on YouTube, which is where I upload this to afterwards. Actually, it was really stupid. I was doing a reaction to it was yesterday or the day before. I was doing a reaction to a TLC, Secret Eaters thing, and I uploaded it to YouTube, and I got copy striked for it. Now it's a copy strike, so I'm not in any like bad water, but it's like, because I noticed that my stream was copy striked, and it doesn't make sense because I don't have anything in my stream that should be copy striked. And I checked this, and they copy strike in a whole like 30 minutes. I was like, what is this? And I check it, and it was TLC, just automatically copy strike the whole half hour. I was like, what the fuck? Sometimes YouTube flag. Twitch doesn't care, bro. Twitch does not give a fuck. Unless you are a VTuber with large breasts, which I'm not, so I'm fine. Or your name is Tectone. Those are like the only 2 times they care. Outside of that, do whatever you want, buddy.
A much different story. And then last is the effect on the market. So are you a market competitor? Are you a market competitor to Pokemon? So let's
To be
look at
fair,
that
Palworld
compared
is
to
a
the US
competitor.
government. Let's pretend in a magical
You
world,
streamed the last
world,
movie on
where
Twitch.
Pokemon and Nintendo sue the U.S. government. This is not.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that just
because
in
the
case,
purpose
like
and
for
character of the
myself.
use is
But
governmental.
yeah,
It's
I've heard of
nonprofit. They're not
people
making
doing
a
that.
game. They're just trolling. They're just making a meme, right? What's the nature? It's a creative parody. So it's not something. It's something that typically is protected. Not.
I would
something that
call
typically they would
Palworlds a
rule in favor of
parody.
Nintendo.
I think you'd be
What's
pushing
the
it, but
amount?
you
They
probably
only
could.
use little clips of the pieces. They use the theme song, but it's mostly government footage of government, officers arresting people, which Nintendo doesn't own.
Oh, he's
And what's
talking
the
about the
effect on
ice
market?
thing.
Not
Okay,
at
I
all. The
completely zoned
government
out.
is not in the pocket monster genre. The government is not, selling games.
Well,
the government is not selling Game Boy
Pocket Monster. Well, the funny thing about that is
and stuff like that. So all these factors would go in favor of
they're
US
pocket
government.
monsters,
So they would
and they're
lose
putting
that
them in
funding. But
Alcatraz
what I want to talk about
in
today
Texas,
the
I think it
business
is.
suicide, and this is part of the deeper thought
You're in
here
that
that I hope you
category.
guys
You've been
can
doing it since
appreciate as
2019. You
people
don't
of
even
culture
care anymore. Ah,
is
okay, that's fair.
that there is an ability to
Super under
profit
the radar.
even if something is similar, and this is kind of
I mean, most people are. It's really just like the top 100 that Twitch kind of keep an eye on. And even then, it's more than likely the top 10 really that they're kind of hard focused on. And since Asmon hasn't and Tectone haven't streamed in like 3 weeks, they've they've probably looked at more people, admittedly, but I imagine like 90% of their work, using fairy fingers here, is just watching Asmon, Tectone, and Hassan streams.
double effect. It's kind of the Hollywood double effect, or some people actually call this the Armageddon deep impact effect. Now, I know some of you Gen Z people may not know this, so
I
stick with
don't.
me. Back in the day of
Mhm.
movies, when movies were good, when Hollywood did things, right? Think way back. You were probably a wee one if you're a younger person, but I remember this. They would put out similarly themed movies.
Finding
So they're
Needle in a
both
Haystack.
about an
Yeah,
asteroid that would end
there's
the
too
Earth.
many people
And
to
what
actually
this would
regulate
do
everyone.
is, instead of hurting, because people might think if you're living in a scarcity mindset, thinking, oh my gosh, there's only so much money. We got to get that money. We got to knock out our competitor. You might think, wow, why didn't Armageddon sue Deep Impact?
Millions of people
Right? Why didn't
streaming.
they knock them out of there? Well,
Yeah, millions of people streaming, and like, what is this? 90% of the viewer base is to the top like 20 people. It's actually crazy when you look at it.
one, you can't take over a whole genre, right? And number two, the movies actually generated more money because both of them came out around the same time. Why did that happen? Let's talk about the double effect. So this is a proven market strategy that boosts both products. There's shared hype, right? So people get excited for both. They get excited for
Yeah, this happened weirdly enough with Barbenheimer. I do not understand how or why, but it was just kind of accepted. No idea how. I didn't watch either of them. You average like 5 viewers for definitely on the front page or anything. I wouldn't want to be on the front page, to be honest. I feel like I would get banned in about 10 seconds. Way too dangerous. What is this?
for, hey, I love space, I love these movies.
I love
And it
space.
creates a cultural conversation. People
Okay.
start talking about space, start talking about asteroids, start talking about, well, what if this happened? What would you do, right?
What
It's
if the
like
world
zombie
blew
genre.
up?
People started talking about,
Literally
well, if
save.
zombies
Yeah, no, I was
attack,
just
what
like,
would you do? Would you survive?
people
What would you do?
posting on
What's your
Twitter like,
tactic
oh,
for
I'm on the
survival?
front page. I'm
Right?
like, oh,
And
fuck.
it just takes over your thoughts. Beyond that, there's strategic differentiation. So let's talk about Pokemon and Palworld. So
Palworld is
with
intended for a mature
Pokemon,
audience
Pokemon is
as
intended for younger
guns.
audiences. Now, I know I say intended because that said, and I'm looking at all of you guys out there, and listen,
Vaporeon
I don't care
fans.
how much Tylenol you've taken. I'm not going to judge you, right? No judgment here in the legal mindset. Yes, I know older people play Pokemon. I know a lot of adults that play Pokemon. I'm not judging you for that. Listen, I may or may not. I cannot disclose whether I have emulators on my computer, okay? And I cannot
I
disclose
can't either.
whether I've played Pokemon Ultraviolet. That is something I'm not going to disclose on the internet. But that said, you can say, okay, Pokemon.
I
is
cannot
intended for younger
disclose whether or
audiences.
not I played Pokemon Brick Bronze on Roblox like 3 years ago.
Palworld is mature. Palworld has guns. Palworld perhaps tackles the topic of slavery, right? There's these more mature topics.
I mean,
and more
yeah,
refined takes.
there's a
you
black
might say,
market
for Palworld.
merchant, so
It's
I mean,
not necessarily a one for one. And beyond that, what it does is it boosts the genre, increase visibility. People are talking about pocket monsters, right? Pocket Monsters becomes cool again. It becomes a thing because everyone's making these games. And lastly, there can be cultural references. Content creators can argue forever.
the generation
I
grew
remember
up
getting on
Pokemon, played
podcasts
Pokemon Red
and
and the
talking
Game
about,
Boy
hey, which is better, this or that, like
when
with
you were
zombie
10,
movies,
like
which is
most
better, which is
millennials.
better, right? With fantasy, which is better, right?
I don't think
Wheel of
I've ever
Time, Lord of the
actually
Rings,
seen a
etc.
Game
You can
Boy like
argue and
IRL.
nerd out over these things, and that's
You were saying that
good
just
for
made me think
both
about
of
that.
the properties. It's good for everybody. You do not need
I think the
to knock
oldest console I've ever seen is a PS1. I think that's or GameCube. I don't know which ones. I think the PS1 is older, isn't it?
everybody out.
But those
So
would be like the
my
two
kind of,
oldest I've ever seen.
preaching to Nintendo here. It's sort
The Game Boy was really solid. I've seen all like the add-ons for it, like the battery pack, the controller handle, is it a light you put on it? Evil. Is this like your Mario Kart list?
of the choose the path of good, right? I've been on this kind
What
of
the fuck is this?
thing here for a lot of a lot of different reasons, but choose the path of good, Nintendo. You still can
They
get people to
won't.
like you, but you have to decide which character you want to be, right? Do you want to be Bowser? Do you want to be evil, or do you want to be Mario, right? And I'm okay if you're Donkey Kong,
Mario's a cuck. No one wants to be Mario. You were surprised by the Game Boy
right? I'm
playing with
okay
an
if you're out there
NES in your
wrecking stuff.
hands
Even Peach, because actually she's probably like a little bit
I
chaotic bad. I don't know. Peach, I may have to
in
demote her. But
class on the
once
go.
again, you can
Yeah,
be
we just
Donkey
use our
Kong. You
phone.
can still wreck stuff. You
We
can
just
still
play
be
our
a little
phone in
wild,
class.
but you don't want to be evil. You don't want to be in the
We
Bowser
had
Goomba.
I say had more because I finished, but we had one really old teacher who didn't like he was 70, right? So we would all go on our phones to play, and we would always abbreviate Clash of Clans as cock. Back in like 1995. Oh god. We'd always abbreviate Clash of Clans as cock. And we would all just start shouting, "Hey, can I play with your cock? Can I see your cock?" And we would just say this, and he would just stare at us, and we wouldn't bat an eye. We would just look at him like this was normal. And he was really uncomfortable. We thought it was really funny, so we just kept doing it.
Territory
Smartphones had
and
become
be
normal
known
until like
as a bad
2007.
company. And I want a world in which good
Oh,
games are made and
flip
Nintendo makes
phones.
good games. If
You had
Nintendo
flip
goes
phones
back
for
to
it,
just
didn't you?
focusing on
Even
the
if
games
you
and
did have a
suing
phone, I think some
everybody
people just
and
didn't.
realizing that they themselves will profit if they lay off the gas, they become the good guy, they focus on their content, and they can even collaborate with other companies that are in the similar
Nintendo would rather off themselves instead of collabing with anyone, except it's like Disney.
genre
You had
and
flip
work
phones.
together. How about a Pocket Monster convention,
The
right?
game
You
on it
could
was
do so
Snake.
much with that. You could do so much with that.
We even
You
played Snake in
choose
school
to
though,
work together and focus on what businesses should be doing,
so it's
which
fine.
is making money
It's
instead
still a
of
thing.
engaging in long.
Just we have
I
colors
don't know
now.
what you guys
That's the
think in
only
the comments
difference.
below, and I will catch you on the next.
Fantastic video, legal mindset, amazing. I always read that. So funny, Nintendo will find any legal loophole to abuse a patent. Yeah, yeah.